It is time for the hottest wrestling podcast on the planet, Beyond the Barricade, with your hosts, Dollar Bill, the Cleaner, and the Brain. Let's get started.
Let's
Woohoo!
get
I know-
farted.
Let's get belted. Burp. Another Monday,
So,
folks.
yeah, another Monday. Some business had
Lots
happened
of
last
business
week. Lots of business.
picking up. So let's
Really?
see the first thing we were talking about on a business sense. AEW.
So, well, I mean, the thing is, we got to know: was it big business? Was it small
Oh.
business? Was it slightly medium average business? What type of business are we dealing with here?
Hey, a
Oh
corporation.
no, it was big business.
Amazon.
So, I guess you guys know where we're going with is that um, there's been several new faces to appear in AEW, and
Just slightly new, they've
I
been
mean,
around. They've been around other places, but
yeah.
for
They've been
AEW, they are brand spanking new.
Well, one is
Well,
brand
Well,
speaking.
hired. Sprang.
newer,
Well,
newer
one was
brand
hired.
spanking.
Well, actually, technically, they've all appeared on AEW television before. Technically,
This is true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm thinking.
so yeah, but this is their first official time as members of the AEW roster.
That's a different thing.
Yes,
The
indeed.
first
Yes.
official contracted signing at AEW.
So, which one do you guys want to talk about first?
Good question.
I was looking at the clouds earlier, and it looked like it was gonna rain.
No, I gave you the finger.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
snowing.
That's what I read.
Yeah, I know. I caught a couple of flakes on the way home. It was, but
Will you
it
stop?
was not-
Will you stop talking about the other customers like that?
oh, trust me, if I was talking about the customers, you'd be here a lot worse than that.
It wouldn't be just snow.
No,
It would be
Yeah.
two rings, a very special AEW show. We'll talk about it. another time.
yeah,
A very special.
So,
episode.
looking up into the sky, we saw it was raining goats.
Bah.
That should tell you who we're going to talk about first. The man that technically officially signed back in November, but now he is officially signed. Well, he had his first match at Revolution. And no, Dollar Bill's not giving it away.
Nope, I'm just stretching. I'm honestly stretching my back.
yeah.
So, bro, okay, bro,
Bruce.
Will Ospreay,
Yeah,
Aerial Assassin,
indeed.
and I can tell you right now, I first saw him live. I first heard of him back in 2016 when Ring of Honor did their first UK tour. It was like 4 or 5 years, and that's when I first discovered him. And then I got to see him live a month later at Final Battle. To think that this guy is like, you could see that he had a bunch of aerial masterclass at his young age, because he's actually my age. Believe it or not, we're actually the
Yeah.
same age. He's only older than me, I think, by like a couple of months.
Nice.
But to see him at that young age, now almost 8 years ago,
Mhm.
and to see where he is now at like literally the top name in the business, one of the top names in the business. It's
Yeah, I'd say
insane.
one.
Yeah, he's without a doubt in the top 10, if not in the top 5.
Top 3. Honest to God, to me, the top 3 in the world right now is
Interesting.
Ospreay, Okada, and the last one's either a toss up between Danielson and Omega.
Wow. Why?
Because there's certain people in our business that anytime they step out in the ring, doesn't matter who they face, they're gonna have a very good match.
Oh, no doubt.
They, Osprey and Omega, or Osprey and Okada, are without the doubt two of them that can do that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The
Oh
only
yeah.
time I've seen Okada have a bad match is when he was with TNA. And Osprey, I think it was impossible for him to have a bad match. So
He'd have to
Hmm.
have like the ultimately bad jobber to have a bad
yeah,
match, and even then, he could pull it out of the toilet.
yeah,
Pretty much somebody who can't work well, you know.
yeah. So those, so for Osprey, like the masterclass of a performance he had at Revolution, it shows you that literally he's on top of the world, and he's only 30.
Yeah, he's got, and I'll say it right now, he's got the world laid out right in front of him, and it's his for the taking.
Yeah, he
That's
came into AEW and already is like the second biggest baby face in the world.
Hmm.
in a heel faction.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
That's what's
So the
weird.
thing is, like, originally, yeah, he was part of the Callus group,
Hmm.
but he was also United Empire. And then over the last couple of months, United Empire really started to transition into baby faces, especially in New Japan.
Right.
So, and in these last couple of months, when he was with New Japan, he was starting to get over more and more as a babyface. And they just continued it here in AEW. And you could start to see that now there's going to be a time where Osprey breaks away
Hmm.
and um, Aussie Open's going to go with him. Like they're going to
Oh,
have,
okay.
it's going to be another form of a New Japan sector or a New Japan faction having its own little branch here in the United States in AEW.
Interesting.
So I
That's,
think,
that's
and mind you,
exciting.
to me, especially as of right now, I can't see All In ending any other way than Osprey holding the AEW World Title.
You think he's the man to take it from Joe?
I'm gonna be honest. I want to see somebody else take it off of him.
Well,
Um,
who?
I mean, I think the perfect guy would have been Okada because
Ooh,
he's, if you could see, even coming in as a heel on a collision, he was still getting a very loud reaction, a very loud babyface reaction. So I think Okada could be the one. Okada is still a big enough person, a believable person to take it off of Joe. But the only, and I mean, come on, Okada and Osprey, the main event of All In for the AEW World Title. Come on,
There's no
um,
roof.
yeah, no roof. Well, I mean, the building
Mhm.
already has no roof.
That's nobody. You know what I'm saying though. When they get in
Yeah,
the ring, there'll be no roof at all.
um,
when they get in the ring, there'll be no building left.
Exactly.
and then
Building will
you
explode.
you wonder, like, but to me that means like you're sacrificing what you're building right now with Swerve. And I think Swerve and Osprey would be an amazing match.
So you think
But
Swerve would be the one to
I can
take
see
the
the
title
rub.
off of Joe?
I think that can absolutely happen. But the thing is, do you want to have a situation in WWE like how they always do it in WWE where you can never do face versus face? Do you create a situation where you have face versus face, and especially in a situation to where you know that London crowd is going to be cheering their hearts out for Osprey? You don't want Swerve to come off, like you don't want to risk losing his babyface heat.
Hmm. Interesting turn.
So
That-
it's
That is a good point.
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Joe wouldn't be a bad opponent, but I think there are better options.
Let's see what's good for business.
You want to see my personal opinion is you want two guys who can fly.
See, Osprey is not as aerial as he used to be.
No. We're not talking about flying, like literal flying. We're talking like they can fly, and you give them a ring. They could put on. They could tell a story. They could put on a good match.
They can go. I would say
yeah.
yeah. I would rather say they can go.
It's not going to be like that match that I shared in the group chat earlier today.
Yeah, the Ricochet match.
The Ricochet and Osprey match.
Yeah, I remember. That was the first time I saw.
That was I just saw a clip of that, and I went and found that match, and I was like, wow.
I will say
I'm
this.
surprised you haven't seen that.
Their New Japan match is better. I don't remember if it was the final of the Best of Super Junior or if it was just a regular block match. But if you look up their match from Best of Super Juniors, it was much better. Not saying that match is bad. The one from the WCPW World Cup. Not saying that was bad.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. I mean, I've seen him before. That's why I saw him in New Japan. That's where I first heard about those two.
Yeah, they faced off at Best of Super Juniors 2016. That's the one that went viral on the internet.
Yes, that one.
But yeah, Osprey today is a lot more of a strong style.
Mm-hmm.
He really fully embraced the strong style, and I would
guys who come out of Japan do.
Yeah. So I would say that to me the best, if you're looking at the best match, it's Osprey versus Okada. There'd definitely be enough time removed from their Battle in the Valley match, which happened last January. And I believe there would also, I mean, if you go back and look at their Wrestle Kingdom match from a couple of years ago, it was iconic. And then they also had I believe, a G1 Climax final against each other. Those two, they can create magic. Same thing with Omega. Supposedly that's the thing. When Omega gets healthy, if he's healthy enough to get back in the ring, they want to do Okada and Omega 5.
Wow.
Which I'm still a little disappointed it didn't happen in G1 Supercard, because that was the original main event. They wanted Omega to drop the IWGP title to Okada at MSG, but then Jay White just filled that role. But yeah, no, I you could tell right now, Osprey is already probably the second biggest babyface in AEW right now.
And yes, you were right. They did have a G1 Climax final.
Yes, I think it was 2022.
No, last year.
Oh, it was last year. Okay. 2023.
July 27th, 2023.
Okay. No, July 7th? No. That's July. No, that's way too early. That's not a G1 Climax final. That's a block match. Because the final would have been in August, mid-August.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm reading it.
How do you spell Osprey's last name? OSPREAY?
REAY.
REAY. Yep. But yeah, no, he was. They actually did put the World Heavyweight strap on him. I think he was the guy who beat Ibushi for it. And then he lost it, I think, to Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. I think that's how that goes. But he did have a G1 Climax final. I think it was against Okada in 2022. I think
August
that's
18th. Yes, I got it.
Yes. Yeah, if it's August 18th, then yeah, that was the final.
Climax 32.
Yep. That yeah, because the thing was, and like especially you could tell with the crowd, they were like there was several parts in the match where they were really pulling for Osprey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, July 27th, yeah, July 18th is definitely a G1 climax final. Uh,
Wait, which one? What year?
2022.
2022. So yeah, I think that's 32.
Wait,
Yeah,
look
it
at
was
the August 18th. Yeah.
Yeah, tag 20. Yeah, night 20. That's
Damn.
I believe a final. Um, and
Six.
if you go back
Wait, 5 3/4. What
nine
the?
and three quarters. Oh,
Wait.
oh,
stars five
that's
I
and three
want.
quarters.
oh.
God damn
Um,
it! Like, stick with the fives.
well, I tell you what, the Okada and Omegas that broke it because their first match, I think it was Wrestle Kingdom 11, the main event. That was when Kenny won the G1 Climax.
Yeah.
That was, I believe, the first ever 6-star match.
That's the thing, though. They always, it's like it kind of cheapens now the whole thing because a 5-star was supposed to be sheer historic perfection. Now you make it 6-star because you felt like it.
Better than perfection.
There's nothing better than perfection.
I think he is given either 1 or 2 7-star matches.
He
The
might as well
only
make it a 10 rating at this rate.
the only one that I know of that he's given out was Okada and Omega 4, which was when
Right.
Omega won the IWGP title. It was in a best of 3 falls at Dominion,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like 75 minutes. Like they legit did 75 minutes.
You haven't seen those type of matches in a long time.
I actually stayed up for that one.
Yeah, that's what I
The
meant. Like,
yeah,
but like, how many matches can you
Hmm,
say goes more than an hour?
not many.
And especially this time period.
the
In the
last
past
one,
is one thing.
the last one I could think about, um, because I know the G1 Climax final, the time limit is 60 minutes, and most New Japan matches are 60-minute time limits.
Right.
Um, so they usually run like those big matches, especially the world title matches, can definitely run 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Especially if you have 2 good guys out there. The last one that
Yeah.
I remember actually hitting close to 60 minutes was probably Danielson and MJF at Revolution 2023.
Yeah.
That was the Iron Man match for the world
Yes.
title. That I think was 60 on the spot. Um, but yeah, no, Osprey. Um, you trust me, he is. This is going to be a common thing that you've seen with all of these 3 signings. Is that WWE or Tony Khan actually outbid WWE?
Yeah. That's
WWE
amazing.
expected that the lore of WrestleMania and being a WWE superstar, that was going to be enough. But all 3 cases, it's been confirmed that um, Tony Khan outbid him. Like Osprey, Osprey has never said exact figures, but he said that from a money standpoint, the AEW offer was blew the WWE offer out of the water. He even goes upon about how his schedule and his situation fit more with AEW because he's able to go home and see his wife instead of WWE where it's more constant and regular schedule where he's not going to have as much free time to go see his family.
And that's important to him.
Yes, that's a very huge point to him. So we could talk about the next signing, who debuted almost 2 weeks ago now in a crazy segment. The newest member of the Elite. So first, let's set up the segment, right? So the Young Bucks, the night after Revolution, the Young Bucks come out with two major announcements. You know, it's no longer Tony Khan making the announcements. It's
The EVPs.
the EVPs. So they come out. First thing they announce is Hangman is suspended. Now, obviously, if you were reading up, you would have known that was something that was coming, because his participation at Revolution was in doubt. Not due to injury, but due to a personal matter. He had a very big personal matter that he needed to take care of, so he's going to get some time off, and that's how they wrote him off via the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
The next announcement.
But it also doesn't hurt that he's getting the time off to recoup from some injuries.
Yeah, but the injuries were storyline. He is fine.
Yeah, I know.
So the next announcement is that they fired their best friend, also another founder of the Elite, let alone AEW, Kenny Omega, who's been out with since December, I believe, with diverticulitis, and he is now fired from the Elite.
Yeah, they said, and to quote them, he hasn't been showing up to his dates without any reason.
Yeah, I love that.
And then I thought that line was absolutely hilarious.
If you saw social media later that day, Kenny Omega posted the very memeable face. Oh no, the Young Bucks are coming for me. I'm wearing their shirt.
But didn't they stop calling themselves the Young Bucks now?
No, they're still the Young Bucks. There we go. They're still the Young Bucks, but they're Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, executive vice president of All Elite Wrestling. But yeah, so whenever the cam shuts off, the background goes too. I will try to fix that. But so they come out and they say, "Oh, we fired Kenny Omega, blah 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 blah," and then Eddie Kingston comes out. Long story short, tries to start a fight. Right as they're about to hit the EVP trigger, coin drop, Kazuchika Okada has made his decision and decided to sign with All Elite Wrestling. And he comes down to the ring. And next thing you know, he hits Eddie Kingston with a Rainmaker. And it's announced that Kazuchika Okada, the now former leader of Chaos, is now a member of the Elite. The former
Not only is
leader,
he all elite, he is part of the Elite.
The former leader of Chaos is now in a former Bullet Club subgroup. Can you believe that?
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it, sucker?
So after a couple of matches, he had a couple of 6-man tag matches. One with a bunch of jobbers or enhancement talent, and then the other was last week at this place. This place, the place right behind me, in that ring, right here.
That ring.
It was Kazuchika Okada and the EVPs, the Young Bucks. They took on Eddie Kingston, Pac, the returning Pac, and Penta El Zero. Yeah. And so it looks like that probably at Dynasty we're gonna get Eddie Kingston versus Kazuchika Okada for the Continental Crown. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel like
that belt.
I mean, because the thing is, I don't know. there's like three mid card titles in AEW,
Right.
and you don't know the I don't know the pecking order.
That's the problem. Neither do I.
I would have made um like to me Okada night one is challenging Samoa Joe for the title.
Right.
That's where I would have went. Obviously that did not happen.
Nope.
Um, but like this is goddamn Kazuchika Okada.
Right.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, he's facing off against Eddie Kingston, which is like a very good matchup.
Hmm.
But it's not for like the world title. Maybe not even like I wouldn't even mind if he went for the TNT title. Because I feel like the TNT title still it needs a little elevation.
Yeah.
I think
Um.
if Copeland wins it, even if it doesn't matter who walks out of Toronto as TNT champion, I feel like that title still needs to be elevated. I'd love to see Okada win that title to elevate that title.
Okay, then who's then just have a kind of with that title wrestling every night, like every week, and then you have for the world title, you'll probably keep it in Joe or give it to Strickland at this rate.
Well, I would see my thing. I'm going to be honest. I think Joe's going to drop the title at Double or Nothing. I don't think it's going to happen at Dynasty. I think it's going to happen at Double or Nothing. Because at least with Double or Nothing, the next champion could get a nice 3-month reign with the belt before dropping it to Osprey at All In.
You really think they're gonna put that belt on Osprey that quick?
There's if you look at how he's already like responded. He already has one of the best selling shirts on Shop AEW Shop. You see the massive reaction that he's getting, and already his two matches in AEW already have been top notch. If you can keep it going, there's no doubt you're gonna get at okay, so this is for Toronto, which is Wednesday night.
Let's
You
see
got
what we got.
Kingston and Okada. Oh, that's actually. Oh, I thought they would save that for Dynasty. They're actually doing it for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if Okada wins. Um, because then, I mean, because Kingston. I think Kingston loses the ROH title at Supercard.
To whom?
Mark Briscoe. It's going to be Mark Briscoe. It's already signed Kingston and Briscoe for the title.
I feel for
Um,
Eddie now. He's gonna lose both titles in like this. In like
he would
short
still
span.
have the New Japan Strong. I mean, realistically, I think the AEW Continental title could still be like Kingston could still win. But then again, like I don't.
There's going to
How
be
would
some
you?
kind of hinky finish with that match.
Yeah, because like, how do you come out of that match? You can't have Okada lose clean,
No, absolutely not.
No.
but then you can't also have Kingston lose clean.
Right.
So the Young Bucks getting involved.
I think Young Bucks get involved to cost Eddie the title.
Yep.
I think that's what's going to happen.
That's gonna happen.
I'm starting to expect the I Quit match. I think Copeland wins to end this feud. Because it's like been on and off again, and it's like now it's starting to get into the point where it's like might be a little too long. I think I'm going to be honest. I think Copeland's lost his buzz. Because like I remember when he first came in, I was like, oh my god, Edge is in AEW. Holy shit! Now it's just like, yeah, it's like, oh, I like this song, but it's just not. It doesn't have that factor anymore. I mean, I do love having him here in AEW, so help with the younger talent. In the same way that Jericho, he's come to AEW, and with the exception of winning, being the first world champion, but then again, he was the AEW he was in then, and the AEW he's in now. Like he doesn't need to be that top guy anymore.
No, definitely not.
And he's just elevate. He's working with younger guys to help elevate them, and I love that.
Yep.
And obviously we're gonna have Hook and Jericho. Speak of the devil,
That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Hook's gonna win.
I think
I
the
agree.
Hook does win
I think so too.
Yeah.
Jericho's going to put Hook over,
because
and I
Jericho
think
has that business sense. He does have that business sense.
yeah, he knows what's good for business, and he knows Hook is the future. Is one of the
Hey,
parts of the future of AEW.
I'm
Yeah,
good for
yeah, we
business.
know. Will
yes,
we know?
and
We know.
then obviously we're gonna hear from Mercedes Monet. It's gonna
The
be
third tiny.
I, yes, actually, yeah. But before we get into her, I did want to say about Okada.
Go for it.
Okada's the only one that we actually know the deal he signed. It's I think a 3-year deal for 4.5.
Shit.
Yeah, he's making 4.5 million a year, which already puts him. If he was in WWE on that deal, he would be a top 5, I think, on base salary. We're
Brain,
not
we're in
even
the wrong
including.
business.
Yeah, and then when you speak of about Mercedes Monet's contract, she was supposedly asking for 5, but neither company approached that. But we do know that the rumor is because Mercedes Monet hasn't had her contract released,
Right.
but we do know that, or it's widely figured in the wrestling business that she's now the highest paid women's wrestler ever.
In AEW.
She's making more than Becky and Charlotte. Apparently,
Two of the other 4 horsewomen.
WWE was apparently not willing to go there, but AEW has, obviously, and so apparently already for tomorrow night or for Wednesday night in Toronto, she's already moved 1,200 tickets. Like from the night she signed, she moved 1,200 tickets for the Toronto show, and I think she also moved about 1,000 for the Boston show. So she's been moving tickets since she's come in, and it's only been a week.
Hmm.
So to say that this is not a big signing, and like it's also been reported.
Mercedes is money.
Yes, and it's also been reported that the things that she liked AEW, at least that offer more, because not even from a money standpoint, she's already done so much in WWE, and if she walked back there, she already did that. She's going to AEW for a fresh new start. The
Hmm.
schedule is lighter. It's going to be a lot more flexible. She's going to have more freedom to do her thing.
More
So
control over creative.
yeah, well, nah, I think when you put it in that way, I think it sounds like Hulk Hogan esque, but like she's going to have a lot more input. Like Tony Khan won't force her to do anything,
Cardboard.
or at least
Wood.
won't put
Right.
her in situation a situation she's uncomfortable with.
We don't need any more
Right.
cardboard in there. Just throw the wood in.
So pretty much that's the whole idea. It's like she has more say, more control of the character, more. I don't want to say total control of the storylines, but
Yeah,
enough
yeah,
that
she's not
she
having
can
total
influence.
control. Yeah, but if she doesn't like something or wants to say no to something, there's going to she's going to be hurt. They're going to listen to her, and they may agree with her.
Hmm.
They're not going to put her in a position that she feels uncomfortable with.
Right.
Which is what
It does.
caused her and Naomi to walk out of WWE in the first place.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean,
I'll be honest with you. They never booked the women's tag titles the right way.
They still haven't.
Nope.
No,
And
they still didn't.
to show you how much that, even though there's been a regime change since, to show you how much she was really valued in that company, when they did walk out, you saw how WWE treated them.
Yeah.
Not
Like
even
Mariah's.
Punk, like not even Punk got what they got. Like with Punk, they didn't even mention it, except for when the crowd chanted it. With Naomi and Sasha, they immediately buried her, both of them, and like that showed you, like WWE never really like appreciated them. So hopefully Tony Khan could show some appreciation, and it looks like they have.
Well, with that kind of money, I think they did.
Yeah,
Now let's see how well they do with the booking.
I feel like it's going to get better, especially because her personal writer is with AEW now as an executive vice president of creative, I think,
Okay.
or content something. But yeah, no, her personal writer, like how Brian Gewirtz is The Rock's personal writer. What was it? Is like Felaman or Pelaman
Hmm.
Letterman.
Elizabeth? Yeah, whatever her name was. Yeah, they just hired like a month ago. Yeah, she is Sasha's or Mercedes' personal writer. So I feel like she's gonna get some good stuff, and we're probably gonna get see something with Willow,
Well, yeah,
coming
you're
here.
definitely gonna see it with Willow, and I could actually see a program between her and Saraya.
Um, I don't think so.
I think
Depending on, I mean, it really depends on
Think
how
about it for a
long.
second.
I mean, yes, we have that history there, but it depends on how long the storyline with Cool Hand Ange and Ruby Soho is going to last.
Uh-huh.
I could see Mercedes going straight for uh, the women's
TBS
world
title.
title. No, the world title.
Oh, you think so?
There's no way. Like, there's no way you're going to put her on the TBS title when you could put her on the world or the women's world title, and then especially with her and Tony Storm, because we all know how good Tony Storm is.
Oh, absolutely. Tony Storm is phenomenal.
I feel like as timeless Tony, and since her WWE's days, she's kind of not
She
eased
has
up.
blossomed.
I mean, her character
yeah.
work has blossomed, but her in-ring work is not as it's not on the same level as what it was when she was with Stardom. And when she did what was it? I think it's Pro Wrestling Eve or whatever. It's a UK women's only promotion.
Okay.
But I feel like with somebody like Sasha, I still call her Sasha, somebody like Mercedes, it's going to bring out a level of Tony Storm that we haven't seen in a while. So that is a match I would be very, very highly looking forward towards.
Mm.
So what do you guys your predictions for any of the three signings?
Uh, I
Oh man.
I'm gonna go back to Swerve versus Joe for a minute.
Okay.
I can absolutely see that program working very well. Have a couple of hinky finishes and have a good solid finish at Double or Nothing.
See, this is one thing that I really loved about early days in AEW that I feel like has kind of lost its way a little bit. And it's the more of the hanky finishes, the bullshit finishes, the DQ finishes. I don't like that.
Okay,
And
I
I
thought
think
I'd save you. Like that. Like what?
no, yeah. Like I liked it how in early AEW, I think it took about like 2 years for the first disqualification to actually happen. And I think it was like MJF. So I wish they could get back to that, because that's one thing I loved about AEW was that there was less bullshit finishes, less DQ finishes,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that in the position of if you were like you wouldn't get affected as bad in a loss in a very good match.
Right.
Um, and it because especially at that time, like WWE had a lot of bullshit DQ finishes. TNA was widely known for that, thanks to Vince Russo. But
Yeah, it's
I don't want to see like a bullshit finish. I wouldn't mind if it's like a Swerve Strickland passes out from a Coquita clutch.
yeah.
I'd
Oh, that
rather
makes
take
sense.
that.
I take that than just another bullshit thing.
Yep.
So you're saying that Joe's gonna fall victim to his own move?
No, I'm saying Swerve. I'd much rather see Swerve pass out from a Coquita clutch because then you could play the angle off of he didn't tap out. He didn't give up. His
Right.
body gave up.
Oh, like an Austin type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think especially when you're building up a baby face, I think that's a very good thing to try. Um, because like now you're in a situation where now Swerve Strickland is not even a tweener; he's a full-on baby face.
Hmm.
Yep.
So I think now that he's a full-on baby face, you have to really like set a tone for that character because now he's in really discovered waters. You know, because when
Uncharted waters.
uncharted waters, yeah, because when he was a babyface when he first came into AEW, he was not. He didn't have the not. I don't want to say he didn't have the charisma, but his character was not as evolved as it is now. You know,
Mm.
Yeah, definitely.
turning heel was he was able to discover a path for the character, and then now you have to see how it works as a babyface. Because I think that's one thing I enjoyed about MJF, and you could see he was still a very big over babyface. You know, you could probably say that the character did take a slight step back as a babyface with MJF, but he was still as popular as he was as a heel. Still getting very loud reactions. He was still getting he was still moving a ton of merch.
Mm-hmm.
MJ, and he didn't really change that much of the character. And I think MJF really truly showed that you can still play the same character, babyface or heel. If you're good enough, it could work for either.
That's the idea.
Yep.
That's the idea.
And I think in a generic thing, I think wrestlers. Because one thing I want to talk about, like from the WWE situation, do you guys remember like a couple of weeks ago? There was a whole Michigog with Maxim Dupree because she got booed
Oh yeah,
at a
Oh,
house
the
show,
house show.
damn.
Yeah.
and Rhea Ripley and like a couple other people were like saying, "Oh, you know, she's trying her hardest," blah blah blah.
Yeah, they were standing up for her. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
watching the video. The fans didn't say anything that bad. They only said you suck. But the
Which-
thing is,
Yeah, wrestlers are
I
used to.
think the fans weren't out of line.
Right.
But I think this shows a lot of the mentality of wrestling, younger wrestlers today, in that they're getting upset, or at least that's how it comes across to me, is that they're getting upset that they're a babyface, but getting heel
Heel
heat.
heat. They're not
And
getting over.
yeah, they're not getting
Yeah.
over as baby faces. And to me, I'm thinking that, like, to me, the mindset should be is that it doesn't matter if you're a baby face or a heel, as long as you're getting a reaction. The
Yes.
worst thing to get as a wrestler is silence.
Agreed.
And if you're getting like you when you're getting booed when you're a babyface, you should be studying how that's happening.
You're
If it
supposed to.
happens once, okay, it's a it's a weird town, you know. Um, what did Jerry Lawler used to call Canada?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. But
I remember every time they went to Canada, they would cheer the heels and boo the baby faces, and he would always call them like, "Oh, we're in weirdo place" or something like that.
Bizarro Land, it's like the
Bizarre
bizarre
Land,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that happens anywhere because like remember MJF gets booed, got booed a lot of places, but as soon as he hit Long Island, he was cheered. So
But the thing
that's
was,
yeah,
when in the WWE, especially those like late '90s, early 2000s,
yeah,
it was very uncommon for that to happen. Unlike today, where it's a lot more common ground. Back then, it was it was still like you cheer the baby faces and you boo the heels.
right.
But I mean, like they had a different dimension to those characters because of what the Attitude Era did. Uh,
Hmm.
but you still cheered the baby faces, and then when they would go to Canada, specifically Toronto and maybe
Yeah,
Montreal, you would see those Canadian fans cheer heels and stuff like that. So we'd always call them Bizarre Land. So maybe if that happens one time, you would look at that crowd and you say, "Oh, it's a weird crowd." Think nothing of it. But if it
and also
continues to happen and happen, right? It's
right.
not saying that you're bad at your job. It's saying that the fans are rejecting your character. So there has to be a point where you say to yourself, "Okay, they're
Welcome
booing
to the
me.
cage.
Yeah, they're booing me. Let me give them a reason to boo me."
Ask the
So
Rock.
yeah, so I
He's an
think
example.
yeah, perfect example. He saw he was getting booed. He saw that the fans were rejecting him as a babyface. They were rejecting him being put in Cody Rhodes' shoes or what they wanted. So he said, "Okay, I'm going to give them a reason to boo." And I think it's worked out. I think it's worked for the
Hmm.
best.
It worked
Yeah,
out the
Um,
first time they did it with him.
yeah. I remember way back with the
Remember
whole nation
when he was
domination
Rocky
thing.
Maivia,
Yep,
yes, yes. I
that's
and
what
then
I
wasn't.
was
he became
thinking.
the
Yeah,
leader of the Nation of Domination.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah.
He
So
wasn't
it's worked.
leader.
It's been magic for him twice.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm. He's got that.
um,
He's got that gift.
yeah. So you have to say to yourself, you know what? When okay, they're rejecting me as a babyface or as a heel, so let me switch.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was saying to myself, they shouldn't be worrying as because like I said, they weren't saying anything too negative. They were still saying something within the commonplace of wrestling. They
Right.
weren't saying like if you remember Raw after WrestleMania 2015 in San Jose, and there was a women's match on. The fans were saying very obscene stuff,
Mm.
um, and especially in an environment of WWE where that doesn't fly as much. You know,
Yeah.
when I say obscene stuff, like
The stupid
very,
shit.
very sexual and crude things that you don't say. Maybe
Yeah.
you say it in a setting like ECW or GCW, where it's a lot more accepted, but not in WWE.
Right.
And especially just during it was a 6 woman tag. Um, so they weren't saying anything like that at that house show with Maxim Dupree. They were just saying normal shit, and I think it was a little it was overblown. Eh, And if I was Maxine Dupree, I would just look at the situation saying, "Hey, I was booed. If it continues to happen, let me readjust my character."
And it's also in Australia too, so it's like
No, I
I
don't
should.
think the house
I,
show was in Australia.
really, I thought it was. My mistake then.
No.
I
Um
could have sworn.
There might have been a separate incident at that Elimination Chamber show, but I don't think that house show was in the at least the video that I saw. It was like a normal house show. I don't think that was in
Hmm.
Australia.
I could be wrong. I could have sworn it was.
I mean, I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was not in out of the realm of what fans would normally say. So I think that situation was blown out of water. Because I mean, remember what wrestling used to be like 20,
Mm.
30, 40 years ago. I mean, you could look at Tales from the Territories on Vice, and they would
Oh
talk
yeah.
about plenty of stories about how there was riots started and people have been stabbed because of fans upset. And hell, you can go
Yep.
back. You can go to Mexico. Look how serious they take wrestling down there.
Yep. Ooh, yep.
Go to Puerto Rico.
Where?
Oh yeah,
Let's
yeah,
not. Yeah.
Puerto
Let's not
Rico.
talk about Puerto
Just,
Rico, even
just
though
ask
we know
Bruiser
it's
Brody.
true.
Oh, wait a minute. We can't. He's dead.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Damn. That was
Yeah,
a
I
little
went
too rough.
there.
Yeah, you didn't have to. That was a little too rough. That's
Yeah,
one
but,
I
I'm
don't
the
like
heel.
thinking
Of
about.
course I got to go there. I'm
I
the heel.
mean it's been 40 years.
Yeah, I know. It's just
Yeah,
it's one
I
of
don't think
those
he's
like
coming back.
fuck though.
I mean,
I
We
don't think
know
he's coming
that.
back to kick my ass.
if we go by the South Park logic, it's about 22 years for something to be funny.
Yeah, exactly. So we got an extra 18 years out of it. So we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Mm.
So yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about for tonight's episode?
Ooh, we're good.
Well, we still have a little bit of time left.
Dude, we got all the time in the world. There's no time limit.
Well,
Time limits? We don't need no stinking time limits.
So,
What is
but
this, a
yeah,
wrestling match? We need a time limit?
eh.
so yeah, anything you
Time
guys want to
limit?
speak about?
We talk about time limits.
What's on your minds?
So,
Hmm.
like I said, I'm going back to Joe and Swerve because I never got a chance to really finish my comments.
Okay.
They can build a very good program out of that. They will
And
have some hinky finishes. Swerve
I
will
mean,
get a sneaky victory. Joe
they've
will get a
already
sneaky victory.
they've already started that. That's one thing I don't like about WWE that I hope still doesn't come to AEW is that they wrestle multiple times with stupid bullshit finishes each time before the pay per view, and they always do it like within a month.
That's
I don't
kind
know
of
if
that. Like I've seen that. It's like it's kind of weird booking because it's like you're kind of. I don't feel like it's building it. I think it's actually taken away from it because it's like
yeah.
after the fourth time, what are you gonna do next?
See that was my big thing with WWE that really started to drain me out was that they would book a match. They would book like the same match like 3-4 weeks in a row and then do it
Yeah.
on the pay per view. And it's like, okay, you're doing all this in a month. Like how
Yeah.
am I supposed to like be entertained or interested in this? So I don't
It's
want
the
to
same old
see
shit.
yeah, and like how I would book is that these guys they don't see each other in the ring until the pay per view.
I
You're
mean,
always gonna have yeah,
run-ins and like maybe commentary, but no matches.
yeah, and it should be Swerve. Oh, excuse me, Swerve chasing Joe because the baby
Stalking him.
face, yeah, the baby face should always be chasing the heel champion.
Hmm. Let's see. So the babyface should be chasing the heel. The heel should be taunting the babyface.
Yeah. Like you will never get this. You will You will never get this. You will never get this.
No,
Na 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 na.
they ain't never gonna get it. They ain't never gonna get it.
Oh, please tell me you get where that's from.
I got that. I got that from a song.
Oh yeah, no, I was giving a whole reference to Borat. Love that movie.
God, wait, the first or second?
Um,
That might have
I
been the
think it
second.
is. No, I think this is the first one
I think it
because
was the
he's
Okay.
first one.
talk. Yeah, because he
Uh,
was talking about how. Um, so okay, so this is a really dirty joke, but he's talking about how his sister was making fun of the school or the village. Uh, I don't want to say the word that they used, but like the specially handicapped, if you know what I mean.
special ones, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and they would, and it was about like, oh, you will never get this, pointing at her hoo ha. And then there was one time that he did get it. So you gotta watch the joke because they put it in a funny array. But
Yeah.
um, but yeah, no, it should always. I always feel like it should be the heel chasing. Like to go what you were saying, like I don't like at least what you were saying, brain. Like I don't want to see them consistently. They have matches a little too much. Even if it's like tag matches or 6-man tags. Like one tag match, okay, I can take, but not
Mm.
consistently week over week.
Yeah, the whole idea is just like the whole idea with the matches is try to build them up, but having multiple matches just like kind of diffuses it unless you raise the stakes, and you gotta keep raising the stakes every time.
Yeah,
Okay, one-on-one match. All right, wrestler A wins. Next week, wrestler B wins. Next week,
yeah,
it's gonna be a run-in. Next week, it's like how much like what you can get to the point where you're gonna have one of those dramatic matches, and then it's like out the window.
yeah. And they're like, oh, now it's a count out. Oh, now it's a disqualification. Now it's a
Now my cousin came in the ring. Now
yeah.
your
Now
cousin came in the ring.
now it's a double nut shot.
Now it's some fan who got in the way and I accidentally bumped into him and I lost the match
Yeah,
because of it.
and now Hulk Hogan came down and was like, "It's my turn, brother."
And the brain just drove the EMT truck by. It's like it's my turn.
Yeah, and then I just walked right through the middle of the ring, right there. I mean, I didn't do anything. I just walked right into the middle of the ring. Just nothing happened.
No, so it's like you keep raising stakes and stakes, and it's just at the wall. You're like, ah, forget this. There's no
Suddenly, the
payout.
Money in the Bank guy appears, but he doesn't cash in. He just wants to just stand on the ropes.
With the Money in the Bank
So
briefcase going,
yeah.
yeah,
Then next thing you know, Nick Bockwinkel was resurrected as AWA champion. He says, "I'm the real world champion."
God, you can bring back everybody from the dead. Might as well.
Yeah.
All the past champions
Nate,
just bring back from the dead. Have an
bring
undead
back
match.
Then
Nature
Bruno
Boy,
comes back, takes over, and extends his championship streak.
and then Nature Boy Buddy Rogers comes in and he says, "That son of a bitch, Ric Flair. I was rolling in my
Stole my
grave."
gimmick.
Stole
He
my
stole my
gimmick.
gimmick.
And
See,
then
I was going
So
for
let
the
me let me ask you a question, Cleaner.
okay.
go for it.
When are you going to shut up and let me finish a goddamn statement? No, seriously, dude.
Mm,
I was in the
Now,
middle of something, and you just like
Well,
totally
I
cut
was
me
waiting
off.
for you to finish.
I was in the middle of it, and you cut me off.
it's
I
all
mean,
right. It's all right.
I
I
mean,
mean, seriously, it's like I'm here to be eye candy,
but I mean,
and
That's my
you're the
job.
mouth. You're the mouth.
I did have some pauses in there where you could have picked right back up.
Your pauses were about 10 milliseconds, if that. If I was, well, I was taking a breath. You started talking again.
I mean, there was some very big pauses in there.
But the fact is, you do it to me all the time, bro. I
You
understand
guys,
this is live, but you know what? I got to call you on it this time.
I
I'm
mean,
calling you on it.
and it's not like I'm the only one doing it. I, it's been happening to me as well. But I'm not gonna sit here and bring it up.
Well, you know what? I'll apologize for that, but
It's complete.
Let's move on.
I should be the one to apologize about that as well. Like,
so you know what? Learn to shut up once in a while.
Well, I mean, you should learn how to speak because I mean, there's been a lot of
But see,
Okay.
there's a lot of that air here.
Hold on. I can sell this real quick. Brain, speak up. Cleaner, shut up. There. Done. Bang.
there you go. He's got to be the judge and jury now.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get him a gavel. When one of us gets out of control, he's got to bang the gavel.
Somebody's got to be the voice of reason around here.
I mean, we could always just bring
And we
Vince
got to
in.
have a fourth host.
Oh, shit. We're going to have a battle royal in the middle of the ring, in the middle of this show.
Maybe we should bring in RPM.
Oh, God, no.
No,
Well, no, you
No.
could. I'm just kidding.
no,
I'm just teasing.
no. I know who we bring in.
Mm.
The Heat.
I don't think. No,
God.
I don't think I would be able to last.
Yeah, we'd laugh our asses off. It would be over an hour-long laugh fest.
Yeah, 59 minutes for laughing, 2 minutes for hi, we're here.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm not saying match after match after match. I'm saying
Right.
they'll have a match, then they'll have some kind of a hinky finish, and they'll have interviews over the next couple of weeks. Joe will be having a match against somebody else, and then he'll have Swerve with the run in, causing problems, and
Right.
then all to settle it all, it's gonna end up in a major kind of match. It's gonna end up in a cage
The
because there's gonna be
cage.
interference from other people. You know,
What if they
Hangman's
don't do
gonna
a
come back and
cage?
cause problems.
Mm.
Mhm.
You
What
know,
if they don't do a cage? What would you be like your other option?
Ooh, good question. Pick another option besides cage.
I mean, how about a lumberjack match? I mean, no, you know what? The lumberjack match is going to happen before the final payoff.
That works better. That's a good build up.
The cage has to be the final payoff.
Yeah. See, that's one thing I
Okay.
like about AEW is that a cage match is the final payoff. I
Yeah.
love that.
It's
So I
not the
think
first payoff.
between now and when is Double or Nothing?
Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, so between now and Double or Nothing, I say they're going to end up having two matches, maybe three. One's going to be a singles match. Joe's going to get involved have a match against somebody. Swerve's going to interfere. Then Swerve's going to have a match, and Joe's going to interfere. Then they'll have another match against each other, and Hangman will get involved. Hangman will come back and cause problems. At which point, shut up.
See, I did. I did.
At which point, both Joe and Swerve are going to look at each other like, what the fuck is he doing here? They're going to turn and beat the hell out of Hangman. He's going to go flying out the ring. Then they're going to start pounding on each other again. Officials and locker room are going to empty out to try and separate these two. Tony Khan's going to come out on stage and say, you two want to fight? You two want to kill each other? Fine. Double or Nothing, you do it in the cage.
I
So,
think.
I mean, right there, that's your payoff.
Mhm.
Be my guest.
I think still 2 to 3 matches because we're 2 months out. I think 2 to 3 single matches is a little too much. Maybe one I would do.
I didn't say they were going to be all against each other.
Okay, yeah. If you're doing like a tag, definitely not them on the same team. I hate that.
No, they're definitely not
Yeah.
going to be on the same team. But there's still going to be some kind of a hinky finish in one of those matches,
hmm
and Hangman's going to be involved in it somehow.
Okay, I
Despite being
gotta.
suspended, he's gonna come back and he's gonna cause problems.
I got a question for you. Okay, so let's say we do not a tag match, but a 6-man tag.
Okay.
Who are the partners for each team? For Team Joe and Team Swerve.
Well, Swerve is still part of Mogul Embassy, right?
He's
Or
still
is
the
he out?
leader. He's still the leader.
Okay. So you got
Alita.
so you got Mogul Embassy.
Hmm.
Then you got Joe.
Joe.
And I mean, Joe could have his pick of anybody on the roster.
Hmm.
But I
Who's your
see
pick?
that's a good one. Um, it's funny as it sounds. I see him going to talk to Don Callis.
Mm.
Interesting.
So do you think
Get
maybe they still?
Okada and Kyle Fletcher.
No, Okada's not in the. Okada's
Oh,
not
that's
in
right. He's
the.
the elite.
Yeah.
He's in the elite.
Do you think?
Uh,
How about the Kingdom from the Undisputed Kingdom?
there you go. That's a good choice.
Because you can still play off
But if
that
he's gonna go to
little.
if he's gonna go to Don Callis, he can Takeshita and Fletcher.
I wouldn't say Fletcher. I would say Takeshita and Hobbs.
Hmm.
Because I think Fletcher is going to break off with Osprey. Like I said earlier, he's going to break off with Osprey.
Right, but until he does, he's still part of the Callis family,
True.
and I think he still has that bit of a heel nature to him.
Yeah.
And Takeshita, we know, is a freaking heel.
Freaking
He's a heel from the word go.
godsend talent.
Oh, he is. Without a doubt, he is. But he's a godsend heel talent.
Okay, so what we looking at Dynasty right now. That's the next pay per view coming up, April 27th, I think it is.
Mhm.
So there's only one match right now, which is Osprey and Danielson.
Mhm.
What would you give me your fantasy card?
Ooh.
Just hold that thought for 1 second, guys, okay?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So what we're probably I'll give you what I think was gonna happen.
Go for
So
it.
I think what I'm looking at right now is you're probably gonna get a rematch of and Deanna and Tony Storm.
Okay.
I could see another match between Okada and Kingston happening
Right.
at the Papes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Dumb question. What do you think about rematches? Like, say for example, Okada does win. You think Eddie should get a rematch
I
right away?
think they should not right away. Well, depends on you what you mean by right away. You know,
Right.
like I don't think it should be the next night
Yeah,
or
I
the
hate
next
that, by the
show.
way. I hate that.
I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Like unless you're booking towards a new feud, I hate that.
Yeah, same here. I agree with
What I would do is like, okay, you cannot have don't have to end the feud, but like at least wait to do the rematch on the next card, the next pay per view.
you. Yeah.
So like it's different in WWE because you only have 3 weeks between pay per views,
Mm-hmm.
or like 3 to 4 weeks between pay per views. But in AEW, you can at least get away with like at least 5 to 6. And I feel like if you have single matches in between 5 to 6 weeks instead of maybe where WWE does it where they'll do it on the next night and then at the next pay per view and all that, that's not as good.
Yeah.
I to me there needs to be a certain amount of time between rematches.
Yeah, agreed.
They could be good, but then like if you do it too soon, it's gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
Oh, like they did with Miz and Zack Ryder.
Yes, the very following night.
Yeah.
Like that.
How you get?
What
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, Zack could have had a decent, even a month-long run, and then give it back to Miz.
I think
I
they
think you're
told
waiting for
him
him the next night.
I think they told him he was going to be a transition champ.
Right, but still, a transition champ should have at least a month,
I
not
could
less than 24 hours.
see them like to me a transitional champ shouldn't be more than like a couple weeks
Yeah,
because a transitional champ is you're just literally putting it on to put it to somebody else.
yeah, like they
So
did with Life of the Party.
I wouldn't mind actually. I didn't mind the Zack Ryder thing as much, knowing that he was transitional. And again,
Have been on a pay-per-view or on
yeah,
Monday Night Raw or SmackDown.
or you give it to somebody where it's not going to have a bigger impact. So you're going into that match getting the belt off of Kevin Owens. So you maybe give it to Stardust, and then give it to Miz.
Okay, so you go with you take Zack Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the belt off of Owens.
Yeah, but I would have gave it to right. If I'm giving it to Ryder, I'm giving it to him for a little bit longer.
Yeah, he's got to have at least a couple of weeks with it.
Not
I would
one
have
day.
said at minimum a month because if I'm giving it to Ryder, I'm not giving it to him in the with the idea of him being a transitional champ. I think if going into that moment, it should have been known that he was going to get a good reaction should he win.
Mhm.
Um,
And they
I
just
f-
ruined it by giving it back to Miz the next night.
yeah, they ruined that moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, because that was the start of like probably Miz's greatest intercontinental title run.
Hmm.
The one that he
Cool.
had in 2016 was iconic. Were you with me at Extreme Rules 2016?
When Rollins came back,
No. Yeah.
no, I wasn't at
No.
that one.
Okay. Okay. Because on that show earlier in the day, they had Miz versus Claudio versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Probably match of the night.
No, I wasn't at
Wow.
that one.
Okay.
I was at another one with you and Fitz.
It was Rollins and Miz for the title, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the only good match of that show.
yeah, because Roman versus Joe sucked.
Yeah, because people were
And
already leaving before the main event finished.
Yeah, AJ versus Shinsuke sucked.
Ended in it was a decent match, but it ended in a double dick kick, which
Yeah,
killed everything.
yeah,
double dickhead.
dick
Yeah.
kick.
I know. It just made me laugh. When the way you said it.
Yeah,
Um.
the crowd lost it on that when
Yeah.
they let it go to that. The crowd
But,
lost it, and they were like, and they lost the crowd.
mhm. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had
Well,
the
I mean,
crowd in the palm of their hands with that match, and they fumbled it like
Who'd
to
you
be
Mark
blame?
like Mark Sanchez running into his lineman.
to be honest, if you look at the matches before that match, the crowd was already lost
Agreed.
because you also
Unfortunately.
had the tag. I don't know if it was for the titles, but it was the tag team match. It was like Lashley and I forgot who else versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That match was a dud because it was like you're literally burying one of your best tag teams. And then you had that stupid fucking segment with like Elias, the New Day, and all these fucking people were fucking in the ring and fucking stupid.
Hmm.
Both women's match sucked. There's literally only one good match of the night, and it's the first of the night.
Hmm.
Sad when you think about it.
that pay-per-view is actually literally legitimately considered like the one of the worst in WWE history.
What was the name of it?
Backlash 2018.
That's what it was. Backlash.
Backlash. I got the backlash.
Oh, it got a lot of backlash. That was
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Wasn't it like a week after their first Saudi show?
Uh,
See, hang on 1 second.
Because if I remember right, like a week before that, they had went. I don't remember if it was Greatest Royal Rumble or if it was the first Crown Jewel. And
Greatest Royal Rumble, and then the next was NXT Takeover Chicago 2.
ah.
because Payback came first.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was after Payback.
So much history to remember. So much history.
Dude, I've locked these memories in like a dark place that I didn't want to reopen.
Yeah,
And that's
that
Brain's
happened.
payback. Brain's
Mhm.
his payback is making me reopen these dark wounds that I thought I locked away forever.
Yeah.
Just give me the scalpel and let me open them up.
Oh god.
Yeah, let's talk about the therapy.
I was watching footage from like 2011 and 2012 Monday Night Raw. I'm like, some of the those Raws back then were like one good segment and the rest of the show shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wrong.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. So,
That's where she that's where everybody started losing their touch.
Yep.
Somebody started losing his touch. Big time. He
right.
who shall not be named anymore.
Yep. Big Dick
He
Johnson.
who shares a name with one of our hosts.
Somebody in here named Big Dick Johnson?
But
Oh god, that just opened a can of worms I didn't want to see again.
yeah, we'll leave it alone at that.
Leave it
We won't
alone.
go there. We definitely will not go there.
Do not go there. Do not pass go.
So,
Do not collect 200.
I could whip out an old I have
please do
the
not whip it out.
Let's do something else.
Nobody brought the
2006
microscopes.
I have the 2006 2007 DX DVD
Oh God.
and there's a
Bill was
lot of
trying to
him on
control
it.
his laughter on that one.
Oh man.
Anyway,
So, I think
oh, God.
Wednesday's going to be a banger of a show on Dynamite.
Yes it is.
I
And
don't see Eddie losing the title just yet. There's going to be some kind of hinky finish that's going to cause no contest.
Mhm.
So, but
and only 3 matches announced so far.
I know. That's what's crazy. There's going to be something happening during the show that's going to cause a match.
Probably, or you're probably going to have Tony announce most of the card tomorrow night.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out. Gentlemen,
Well,
That's gonna
another
be a
good
crazy
one.
card. Another good doobie.
Yes.
yeah, so do we want to tease what we are planning for the future or no?
Absolutely.
Somebody's got to tease.
All right, we got everybody needs to start pulling out the thinking caps. Because in a couple of weeks, we're going to hold ourselves a WrestleMania trivia contest.
Damn, I lost my cap. I'm screwed.
Sorry, but members of the staff are not eligible to win.
Damn.
Nope.
They
What
can
about-
participate, but they cannot win because the winner will receive a prize.
My
That
dirty
will be
underwear.
that will be revealed in due time on TikTok and Instagram.
Not even the fuck.
So
I
stay
worry
tuned.
about you sometimes.
that's
Keep an eye
a
on
daily
TikTok and Instagram. So,
TikTok for
gentlemen,
now.
until next week. Too sweet.